Every chance they get, the Radcliffes look at pictures. Mostly they revolve around Big Brother Mike, with his boys, with Kathy, with his teams, and always with a smile. They laugh a lot, because if they laugh, they won't cry. You see, the life of the party, the leader of the gang, has gone silent.
I mean, this is a lawyer, for God's sake. This is a guy who makes his living talking.
Mike was one of the most amazing, natural, aw shucks, go to court lawyers you could ever imagine.
When my brother said, I have ALS, I pretty much dropped my coffee cup. I knew exactly what was in store for him. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
The heartbreaking diagnosis came in January of 2009. Mike Radcliffe, who had just turned 52, was diagnosed with ALS, a fatal neuromuscular disease. The onset of symptoms were rapid.
I love giving him hugs.
Loss of motor skills, his arms, his legs, and maybe most devastating,
Love you.
his speech.
I win.
ALS doesn't just rob its victims,
The booby prize.
it steals from girlfriends
I win.
Come here.
and mothers.
Aww. He's a good boy.
And mostly from kids. Mike has 3 sons, Colin, Sean, and Brett, 21, 18, and 16 years old respectively. He has always been there coaching and playing. ALS ruined everything.
Well, he used to do the same thing we used to do. I mean, play football, play lacrosse, everything we did. He's like one of us, like one of my brothers and I, and it's hard.
Hopefully they will always have memories of their dad the way he was before he was in the chair and the way he was before he lost his voice.
Mike met the love of his life, Kathy Belt, in early 2008. Less than a year later, he started suffering from the symptoms of ALS. Kathy's been at his side the entire time.
It's been tough, but I've taken it as a blessing, really, that I'm able to be here. I wouldn't have it any. I mean, I could have, when it first happened, I guess I could have said, well, I'm going to go, but it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought. I mean, that's really, I'm blessed with it. Every day, it's just taught me so much as far as what to appreciate in life, and, you know, I cry. I cry a lot.
The ALS awareness factor has shot up in Baltimore since former Raven O.J. Brigance, who made the first tackle in the team's Super Bowl win, was diagnosed with the disease in 2007. ALS ravaged his once sculpted frame. 2 years later, on the night that O.J. celebrated his 40th birthday, Mike shared a word and a few tears with his inspiration.
To see O.J. in person was quite emotional.
Hey Mike, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you, man.
Big fans.
At the same time, astounding future Hall of Famers Ray Lewis and Ed Reed.
You know, you don't try to relate to what they're going to, you relate to who they are. Who they are is in their heart. And that's why I kept touching his heart. I feel your heart. I know what you're saying. I know what you want to say. You know, your spirit tells me that. That's like I told him, you say wow to me, I say wow to you. So I applaud you way more than you applaud me.
Yeah, I did get to meet Mike and his 2 sons, and I mean, it was just a great thing to see guys, you know, moving on, you know, living their life out, you know, and you see it, man, and it's like I said, it's an inspiration.
The Ravens aren't the only ones inspired by Mike Radcliffe. His fellow lawyers have risen to the challenge. The Baltimore County Bar Association has adopted the Packard Center for ALS Research at Johns Hopkins as its charity of choice, donating the funds raised in Mike's honor.
Mike he was so well thought of by everyone in the Baltimore County Bar Association. And I think when something happens like this to one of your own, you want to help any way you can.
Michael's been an attorney in Towson for over 25 years. My dad was an attorney in Towson, and Michael worked with him. And the legal community was a big part of our lives because of that. So the fact that they have decided to take this ALS on as a cause for them is just a tremendous thing.
Almost 1,500 supporters turned out for the ALS Fiesta 5K in May. Team Radcliffe had the largest contingent, 140 people, raising funds to support the Packard Center and the world's leading researchers in their effort to find a cure for this insidious disease.
When I first see a patient, I really don't know how long they'll live. I do know they're going to die of their ALS. I do believe, certainly in my lifetime as a researcher, that we'll find an answer for our patients and we will increase their survival. I just can't promise it to the patient when they first come to see me.
The cruel reality is that any cure will likely be too late to save Mike Radcliffe. So what do the people that know Mike best want you to know? They want you to know about his impact in the community as an attorney and as a coach. They want you to know Mike the outdoorsman and adventurer with the irresistible sense of humor. And more than anything, they want you to know Mike Radcliffe, the family man.
When you talk about, what was Michael for those who don't know him, again, someone who would do anything to help you. It's why he's got so many friends, is that he found time for everybody.
It takes you about 2 minutes to fall in love with the guy. He's a wonderful person. He's coached hundreds of kids, and he's the kind of guy that parents find out quickly that their kids respond to Mike. He made a lot of kids a lot better kids.
Mike doesn't see himself as being any different from any other person, but the reality is that Mike is an unbelievably special person.
First time I saw him in court was in Towson, and he was representing somebody in a case where it seemed to be a dead-on guilty plea, but Mike just wound up working his magic and was able to convince the judge that the actions that his client took were necessary to avoid whatever collision that the officer said he was a part of, and got the only not guilty that I saw in the courtroom that day. So I was very impressed, especially as a young lawyer.
I thought his stick was Family Guy. I thought Family Guy was because he was a family guy, but Family Guy I found out after was a cartoon. I didn't realize that was why he liked Family Guy. I thought it was, oh, this is really nice. He has 3 boys. He's a real family guy. It was the TV show. I know his boys are everything. It's just everything.
It's extremely difficult because my dad has always been there for us and has always helped us, and the last thing he wants us to see is him fall victim to something. Because I used to always think of him as invincible and nothing could ever happen to him.
ALS is devastating. It's devastating for the person who has it. It's devastating for the family. And there is no treatment. They don't know what causes it. They don't know how to treat it. They certainly don't know how to cure it. The best they can do is teach you how to cope with it. ALS has been around long enough. We should know more about it. We should know a lot more about it.
To honor and celebrate Michael Radcliffe and to help make a difference, please make a donation to the Packard Center for ALS Research at Johns Hopkins.